Hi students, I welcome you all for this session. Now we are going to discuss about time and the value of supply. In previous sessions we discussed what is GST, introduction about the GST, the journey of GST, and definitions of GST, advantages, disadvantages of GST, and also we discussed the registration procedures in GST, and what is supply, what are the characteristics or applicable supply. So we discussed section 7 for supply and 8 for mixed and composite supply, and also we discussed about schedule 1, schedule 2, schedule 3, and in registration we discussed section 22 to 30. Now we are going to discuss about time and value of supply. This is also called valuation methods of GST. Okay. So in this session we have to discuss two important topics. One is time of supply, another one is value of supply. Both we have to discuss in this session. One is time, another one is value. Okay. So first we will discuss about the time value of supply. Time of supply, not time value, time of supply. Regarding time of supply, we have to discuss, we have to cover section 12, section 13, section 15. Section 12 is for time of supply of goods. Section 13 is for time of supply of services. Section 15 is find out the total value of supply, taxable value of supply. So we have to study, we have to discuss one by one, no problem. First we will take section 12. So we need to discuss what is section 12, what are all the contents are available, what are the rules and regulations are available in section 12 for time of supply of goods. That is very, very important. Time of supply of goods, because we have to discuss time of supply for goods as well as services separately. But discuss both, but separately we have to discuss. Okay, one is for, first we have to cover complete time of supply of goods and the time of supply of services. Then we'll find out the total value of supply. Okay, this is what. So here you have to keep in your mind the following three sections. So whenever you are going to study the time and value of supply, these three sections are very, very important. Section 12, section 13 and section 15. Okay. Section 12, time of supply of goods. So how can we find out time? So here you have to understand what purpose, what is the aim to calculate time of supply. So the taxable event is time of supply. The taxable event is time of supply. The day itself, the time of itself, the value of supply will become a taxable supply, the value of supply liable to pay GST. This is what the purpose of time of supply. In which date you say this is a time of supply, and that date you have to pay tax, you have to collect tax and pay to the government. So this supply is liable for GST. That is very, very important. This supply of goods or services are liable for tax. Okay, this is the aim. So the tax liability to pay tax on goods shall arise at the time of supply. The liability to pay tax shall arise So before that we won't say your supply is taxable, your supply is not taxable. But when we decide the time value of money, when we calculate the time value of money, the moment itself the supply of goods is liable for tax. Liable for tax, liable to pay tax. Okay. So you see, how can you calculate or find out the time value of time of supply of goods, not time value, time of supply of goods. Okay. You see, whichever is earlier of the following. Whichever is earlier of the following. One is the date of issue of invoice or the last date as per section 31 to issue the invoice. This is very, very important. The date of issue of invoice. Take for example, you issue the invoice on 10th October. 10th October. Okay. But or the last day on as per section, you assume that this is 10th. No problem. This is 10th. Then now I will tell what is the last date. So last date should be within the 30 days from the date of supply. You see, this is the actual date you pass the you issue the invoice. Suppose you have not given this type of invoice, the invoice should be prepared by you at least within 30 days from the date of supply. Suppose you supply today, within the next 30 days you have to create invoice. This is the date. So you take either this one or that one. Usually this is applicable. When it is applicable also that you take. So here the date of issue of invoice is 10th October. Okay. Then the date on which is supplier received the payment. The second one is the date on which the supplier receives the payment. In which date the supplier receives the payment from the customers. This is because customers is a end point. All of you know, we already discussed the supply chain of the GST. The GST the process starts from the manufacturer and wholesaler and retailer and finally customer. So customers are the end process. So this is on customer's point of view, we have to charge time. So end point is customers. So they have to pay. But before that, they are eligible to claim ITC. So what is ITC? Input tax credit. We'll discuss later. Okay. So the date on which the supplier, you assume that the date on which the supplier receives the money is 20th October. 20th October. Okay, 20th October. But when you take the B, the date on which the supplier receives the payment, you have to discuss the following two conditions. You have to take the earlier of the following two dates. One is date on which the payment is recorded the bank account. In which date you have recorded in your books of account, not bank account, in your books of account. Which date you record in your notebook the money is received from Raman or money is received from some other customers. In which date you recorded. You assume that the date of recorded in the books of account is 25th October. 25th October. 25th October. Okay. Date on which the payment is credited the supplier bank. Sometimes the suppliers will send money directly to the bank account. So based on the message you receive from the bank, now only you came to understand or came to know your money has been credited by the your customers, by your customers. On that date is 20th October. 20th October. Okay, 20th October. So these are all the date. So here you have to take whichever is earlier. Earlier is 20th October. This is what that date. So now you tell what is the time of supply. The time of supply is the earlier of the following 10th October or 20th October. The time of supply is 10th October. So on 10th October, what are all the supplies you have in your hand? They are liable to pay tax. Very simple. Okay. In 10th October, what are all the supplies you have, whatever supplies you have, they are eligible to pay tax. They are taxable supplies. They are taxable supplies. So the moment itself, the day itself, when you calculate the time value of time of supply, on that day itself your supplies are liable to pay tax. Okay, this is what time of supply of goods, my dear students. So once again I will repeat, you have to take whichever is earlier. One is the day of issue of invoice or the last day. Last day is nothing but the 30th day of the from the 30th day of the date of supply. Okay, from the date of supply you have to prepare invoice within 30th day, 30 days time. Okay, or either you take that one or this one. Okay, then the date on which the supplier receives the payment. For this one, for that one, you have to consider the two, whichever is earlier. This rule is only for B, not for A. Not for A. Okay, this is only for B. Date on which the payment is recorded in the book of account and the date on which the payment is credited to the supplier's bank account. So you see, 10th October is the issue, date of issue of invoice. Here you take these two, 20th October and 20th October, whichever is earlier, 20th October. Now you compare these two. So the value of, time of supply that equal to 10th October. 10th October. That's all. Okay. Hope you understand. Okay, how to find out time value of time of supply. Okay, good. Next, note: if the supplier receives up to 1,000 more than the invoice, the time of supply is at the option of supplier B, the date issue of invoice. That is very, very important. The supplier receives up to 1,000 more than the invoice. What is this? You see, you have a internet connection in your hand. So in your house, so you are using Airtel. The bill amount is rupees 588.25. Usually, being a customer, I will pay 600 rupees. Rounded off only I will pay. The balance 11.75 will be adjusted against the next bill. So like that, whenever you pay, up to 1,000 is allowable to adjust in the next bill. Not more than that. Not more than that. This is what this concept. The supplier receives up to 1,000 more than invoice. The time of supply is at the option of supplier B, the date of issue of the invoice. So now you ask them, sir, can I adjust the excess amount in the next bill? You can say yes. Now only it is possible. But when you pay more than 1,000 in excess amount, this amount will not be adjusted again. It has to be refundable to the concerned party. But here you have to understand, any advance collected for the supply of goods not by composition supplier is taxable on invoice date. But suppose you receive advance for supply of goods. Usually whenever we place an order, immediately we pay some advance. But when you pay advance for supplies, this advance is taxable on the invoice date. On the invoice date. So already we how to prepare invoice. Which day you are preparing or will prepare invoice, on that day this advance is taxable. Okay. Supply shall be extended covered by the invoice or the payment. The supply shall be extended covered by the invoice or payment. Here the supply will be treated as a taxable one based on the invoice or the payment. Based on the invoice or payment, whichever is earlier. Okay, this is what we discussed in first slide. Okay, time of supply of goods. Okay, good. Then time of supply of services. Time of supply on reverse charge basis. It is also goods. Reverse charge basis. Reverse charge basis means when the beneficiaries pay GST to the government directly. Okay, here whichever is earlier, the date of the receipt of the goods. First one is the date of the receipt of the goods. B, whichever is earlier, of the date of the payment as entered in the books of account, or the date on which the payment is debited to his bank account. So from these two, you take whichever is earlier, and compared with this one, then finally you will take whichever is earlier. This is for reverse charge mechanism. Okay. C, the date immediately following 30 days, the date of issue of bill or invoice or any other document by the supplier. Already I told you, this is for section 31. This is for section 31. So you prepare the day itself when you supply goods, and the day itself you prepare an invoice, or at least you have to prepare an invoice within the next 30 days from the date of issue. Date of issue of invoice or the document or supplies. Okay. Otherwise, the date of supply, the date of entry in the books of account of the recipient of the supply. Suppose you are not entered, or you don't have any proper dates in your hand. So now, in which date you entered the payment in your book, and that date will be treated as a time of supply. Suppose I will ask where, in which date you issue invoice. You said I don't know. Okay, when the amount is recorded in your bank account, you said I don't know. So in this situation, what they will do, in which date you record in your book, definitely it has to be done by you, unless otherwise you will be punished. So definitely you may write, sir, I received money from them, because you have to pass entry and other account, and also you have to submit the monthly return, quarterly return and the annual return. So you will be punished when you fail to do all the process correctly. So in this situation, they treat, when you make an entry in your record, and that day will be the time of supply of goods. Okay. Then time of supply of vouchers. Sometimes the company gives some vouchers to the beneficiaries. So if supply is identified on issue, the supply is identified on issue. So what is this? Nothing, my dear students. You are participating on an event, on competition. You assume that you won that competition. They give some prize along with one coupon. Gift hamper with one coupon, gift coupon. But they specifically mention you go and use this coupon only for purchase of cell phone, mobile phone. This is for if supply is identified on issue. You cannot buy any of them, or you cannot buy any other product with the use of this voucher. You cannot redeem for to buy all other products, but you can use this voucher only for purchase of a specific product. Either it may be a book, either it may be a dress, or either it may be a cell phone, or either it may be some other gadgets. No problem. So this is called supply is identified. Now the date of issue of voucher will be the time of supply. Okay, now the date of issue of voucher will be the time of supply. Okay, when the voucher is for a specific product, you have to use that voucher only to buy a cell phone. You cannot use for some other purpose. So in this case, the date of issue of voucher will be the time of supply. Okay. Otherwise, the date of redemption of voucher, they give one common voucher. You can go anywhere, you can redeem this voucher to buy or to eat, to some other purpose. So in this situation, in which date you are using or which date you are going to redeem, on that day will be the time of supply. Okay, on that day will be the time of supply. Okay, good. In other cases, the time of supply shall be if periodical return has to be filed, the date on which such a return is to be filed. Suppose in other cases means you don't have any detailed information regarding your supply. You don't have any detailed information regarding your supply. You don't have a proper invoices, you don't have a proper date of supply and proper date of receipt money, or you don't know everything. So in this situation, when you are going to file the return, periodic return, on that day will be the time of supply. In other cases, the date on which the tax is paid, on that day. Suppose you are not filing tax return also, so definitely you will be punished, you will be in trouble, they will come and catch you, okay, and definitely they impose you to, insist you to pay tax. So in this situation, in which day you are going to pay tax, on that day is the time of supply. Okay, this is what time of supply, my dear student. The time of supply for addition in the value. Okay, by way of interest, late fee or penalty or delayed payment, the date of receipt of additional value is the time. Suppose you are paying interest for delayed payment, late fee for delayed payment. These are all possible because we are doing business. Sometimes we may have some financial problem. On that situation, we may delay to pay GST to the government. So now the date of receipt of additional value will be the, okay, suppose you charge from your customer, the date of receipt will be the taxable value of supply. Okay. So time of supply for a voucher, if it is identifiable on issue, the date on issue of voucher. When it is not identifiable on issue, this is a common purpose, the date of redemption will be the time of supply. In other cases, when you file the income tax return on that date. Suppose you are not filing income tax return, the tax paid, when you pay the tax on that date will be the time of supply. In other situation, suppose you are paying and you are receiving interest and late fee or penalty from your customer, which date you receive, on that date will be the time of supply. Okay. You see, Phoenix Private Limited enters a contract for supply of 100 office shares at rate of 15,000 with Joy Sales on 21st August. The shares are removed from the warehouse of Phoenix Private Limited on 5th September along with the invoice. So they prepare 5th September. Joy Sales paid 30% of the total contract value on 25th August. Okay. Balance of the percentage is paid after delivery of the shares on 10th September. This is what the information they have given. You see, enter the contract and the charge 15,000 Joy on 15th. The shares are removed from the warehouse along with invoice. So date of invoice is put. Joy Sales paid 30. This is advance. The balance will be 10th September. So here we need to take when we receive the final payment on that date, not August. So date of issue 5th September. Okay. Date of money received 10th September. So whichever is earlier is what? 5th. So time of supply is 5th. So this supply is taxable on 5th September. This supply is taxable on 5th September. Hope you understand this problem. Okay. You see, date of share supply 25th August. But when they prepare, so they have not prepared the invoice the day itself, but they prepared invoice within 30 days. 30 days. Because next 25th September, they have time up to next 25th September, but they prepared, due date of issue of, last date of issue of supply, invoice as per 31 is 21st means next 21st September, last date for issue, 21st September, but they prepared 5th September, no problem. And when they received 100% money, 10th September, so which date? You take these two, others are irrelevant. Okay. Here the answer is 5th September. Hope you understand? Okay, good. A machine has to be supplied at site. It is done by sourcing various components from vendors and assembling the machine at site. The details of the various events. 17th September, purchase order with advance 50,000 is received for goods worth 12 lakh and entry made in the seller's book account. Okay, seller's book of account. So 17th September, they place an order along 50,000 advance. They received goods 12 lakh and entry made the seller's book of account is 12 lakh. 20th October, the machine is assembled, tested at site and accepted by buyer. 20th October. Okay, so now this is the date of supply. So in that date they have to issue the invoice. 23rd, invoice raised. 23rd is invoice raised. 4th November, the balance of 11,50,000 received. Determine the time of supply above scenario. This is what very, very important. You see. Here we need to take two important dates. One is what? Date of issue of invoice, 23rd. Then the remaining date will be compared by two. One is date of entered the books of account. Books of accounts. But they record only goods, not the payment. So no problem. Then the payment of receipt 11,50,000. The final payment is 4th November. So 4th November will be taken here. Because when we receive final payment on that date only will be considered 4th November. So whichever is earlier, 20th October. The machine is assembled, tested and accepted by buyer. This is the date of invoice, but they prepared invoice at 20. So here either you take 20 or 23rd. Okay, this is what time of supply. Okay, good. Gas is supplied by a pipeline to the recipient. The supply is to be made for a period of 1 year. Monthly payment are made by the recipient as per the contract. The details of the payment are 5th July, 5th August, 5th September. The payment is made at 12. I think the final payment is what? 5th September. So 5th September is the time of supply. Because we have to consider when the last payment is made. When the last payment is made. Okay, this is what very important. So here the time of supply of goods is 5th. Okay. Determine the time of supply for the given information. May 4 supplier invoices goods. Okay. Within 30 days. So May 4. May 12 bridge receives the goods. Okay. Payment whichever is earlier. 12 and 4th. So 4th May. 4th May is okay. Time of. Hope you could understand, dear students. Okay, good. Determine the time of supply from the given information. May 4, supplier invoices goods. Okay, 30 days. June 12, billers and co receive goods. And July 13, payment made, whichever is earlier. So 12, whichever is at 12, so May 4. The time of supply. Hope you could understand. Okay, good. Time of supply in case of voucher, exchangeable for goods. You see. Acme Sales Limited sells goods coupon to a company which gives these to its employees as part of the agreed perquisites. The coupons can be redeemable for purchase of any item of food provisions in the outlets that are part of the program. What is the time of supply? The date of redemption. The date of redemption, date of redeem is the time value of supply. Date of redeem. Date of redemption. Here, the company has to tied up with the restaurant for having food for its employee. Company purchases with vouchers from the restaurant and gives the employees. The vouchers can be encashed at the restaurant at the purchase of food only. So, that date of issue. Date of issue. Here, first case, date of redemption. In second case, date of issue will be the time value of time of goods. Sorry, continuously I am saying time value, not time, not time value. This time, okay. Radha Traders sold goods to Shams 6th June with the conditions that interest of 2% per month will be charged if Sham sales fail to make payment within 15 days. Okay. Goods were delivered are also the invoice. So 15 days means when they are paying, the date of receipt of the interest. The date of this receipt of the interest, 15 days means 6th plus 15. 21st June. The date of, maybe suppose they are paying the last day 25th June will be the because clearly when we are collecting interest delay fees, okay, delay fees, the date of receipt of interest and delay fee will be the time of supply. Okay. Hope you understand, dear students. The invoice is 6th June. Goods were delivered and also invoice issued. But and repaid the consideration 6th July. So 6th July. Sorry. 6th July will be the time of supply. Okay. Hope you understand how to find out time of supply of goods. Okay. Now we are going to discuss about time of supply of services, section 30, because 12 is 4. time of supply of services. The liability to pay tax on services shall arise the time of supply, in which day your services is arise, or when you give service, on that day, if satisfied the following conditions, on that day your services is liable to pay tax to the government. Both. But here we have to discuss in detail. You see, time of supply of services, whichever is earlier, if invoice is issued as per the date prescribed 31, the date of issue of invoice, the date of receipts, and all are same. We have to take. No problem at all. But when they are not issue the invoice as per the section 31, when they issue the invoice as per the date similar to that of time of goods, nothing. You see, there is no any change here. The date of issue of invoice, date on which suppliers receive the payment, for that one we need to consider the two. We take whichever is earlier of the following. Okay, whichever is earlier of the following. Date on which the payment is recorded in the books of account, date on which the payment is credited in the supplier's bank account. So I hope you could understand, dear students. Suppose you have any doubt, raise at the time of webinar, I will clarify. Okay. If invoice is not issued as per the date prescribed by 31, now the date of provision of services or the date of which the supplier received the payment, date of provision of services, here date of issue, here date in which day you give, you provide, or you contribute your service. But here you provide service today, but the invoice should be prepared within the 30 days of the date of service. The date of issue of invoice will be considered here. Here in date in which you give the service will be considered here. Okay. Then whichever is earlier is same. Date on which the payment is recorded in the books of account, date on which the payment is credited in the supplier's bank account. This is same. So already we discussed and solved some problems. Hope you have understand properly. So same thing is applicable. But what is the variation? What is the difference? When they have a invoice as per the section 31, not have an invoice as per the prepared, not prepared. That's it. Otherwise, the date on which the receipt shows the receipt of services in the books of account, then others are same. Advance collected, everything is same. What we discussed at the time of finding time of goods, the same is applicable here also. Okay. Then time of supply on reverse charge basis, whichever is earlier of the date of payment of enter, the date of payment of bank account, but the immediately following 60 days from the date of issue of invoice or any other document by supplier. Here, the invoice should be prepared within 60 days, not 30 days. It is for what? Reverse charge basis. Reverse charge basis. Reverse charge basis. Others are same. Other points are relevant here also to find out what the time of supply of reverse charge basis. So you understand clearly time of supply of goods. So when you understand clearly about the time of supply of goods, others are very simple. You have to make a slight changes. We have to make a slight changes. Let's see. No problem. can easily find out time of supply of services and time of supply of reverse charge, everything. Okay. Otherwise, same what we discussed, everything is same. But supply of services by associated enterprises, supplies located outside India, now whichever is here of the data of entry in the books of accounts of the recipient, data payment, whichever is. When they are in outside, take for example, you get services from abroad, engineer, architecture. You are constructing a house, you decide to get some input from the architects, those who are running or doing business in abroad, America or UK. So in this situation, when you give, they made a payment. So in this situation, the following conditions are applicable. The date of entry in the books of accounts of the recipient and the date of payment. Okay. Next, supply of time of supply of vouchers. I think same. Return file same. It's applicable here also. Services also. Okay. That's it. So this is what you have to know before discuss about the value of supply. Now we are going to find out or discuss about the value of supply. But before calculate the value of supply, we have to know time of supply of goods and services. I mean section 12, 13. This is for section 15. Okay. So what is value of supply? Value of supply of goods or services are good. This is very important. Very important, because one question will come from this part. Definitely will come. One question will come. So what is value of goods? What is value of goods or value of supply or value of services or both? Transaction value paid or paid. Transaction value means cost of goods, cost of sales, selling price, very simple. Selling price. Transaction value, the value quote to the customers. When you take cost of sales plus profit. Supplier and recipient are unrelated. They should not be related persons. Already we discussed. Suppose you run a business in Trichy, your son is running a business in some other place in Tamil Nadu, you supply goods to your son without consideration. This is not a supply. Already we discussed. Okay. Sole consideration. So the buyer and seller are not related person. They are unrelated person. You assume that you are running a business. You tell, I will say only those who are related for me. I mean relatives for me. So how can you sell the goods? You will sell or you have to sell only goods to your relations only. Is it possible? Whoever may be the buyer, whoever may come and ask you to give a product, simply give the product for consideration. Sir, how much? 40,000. You take. Collect 40,000. You take. This is for 10,000. You give and give money. Receive money from them. This is what happening. So supplier and recipient are unrelated. Sole consideration, and add any taxes, duties, cesses, fees and charges under law except GST. At the time of sale, you pay any tax except GST. They should be added with the transaction value. Added with the transactional value. And any amount payable by supplier but paid by the recipient. Any amount paid by the supplier but paid by the recipient. They paid, but you are not paid. This amount should be also added. Add incidental expenses before delivery. Suppose you pay commission, packing charges, inspection and certification charges, installation testing charges, weighment charges, loading and designing charges. These are all possible for supply of goods. You would pay some commission, getting order, packing charges, then inspection and certificates charges. They will come and inspect whether your product is in good condition or not. Are you produced as per, or you maintain as per ISI certificate? You have to get some Indian Standard Institute, ISI. Once you covered along with this symbol, emblem, okay, the people have a confidence. They feel that the product is good. Because it is certified by the International Standard Institute. And installation and testing charges. You have to install and test before use properly or formal usage. Weighment charges, weight, weigh machine, weighment charges, loading and designing charges. So whenever you paid of them for supply or before delivery, everything will be added. Everything will be added. And add interest, late fee or any penalty for payment. It should be added. Subsidies provided other than by central and state government. Suppose you receive subsidy from the private, already we discussed at the time of consideration. By consideration. Less staggered discount. You give discount stage by stage. You suppose in festival time you give one discount, buy one, get one free, buy two, get one free. This type of discount is not possible. But staggered. Whenever you pay 50,000, now I allow 1% and at the time of final payment I will do. This is allowed. This is allowed. But buy more, save more, exclude. This is not possible. Usually at the time of this type of discounts are given at the time of what? Festival time. Some branded shirts. like Peter England, Alan Solly, Louis Blake. They give offer at the time of festival. This is called festival offer. They will say buy 2 get 1 free. Sometimes they give buy 5 get 5. Buy 2 get 2. Less agreed term of discount before the time of supply. Periodic, year-end, volume discount excluding, but ITC is reversed. Agreed term of discount before the time of supply. Okay, agreed term. You buy, I'll give. This is trade discount. Sorry, agreed term. It should be adjusted. Trade discount. You buy, I'll give. Because you are a frequent customer, you are always buying a goods from one supplier regularly. In that case, they give discount. And the secondary discount is not allowed. Secondary discount. Suppose you have a unsold goods, again, huge quantity of unsold goods. You decide to dispose all types of festival. So now only you give some attractive, charm discount. So this type of discount will not be considered. And finally, subsidies provided by central and state government will be deducted. Subsidies provided by central state government will be deducted. Okay. So now we will get the value of supply. This is the taxable value of supply, my dear students. Okay. So once again we will discuss, because this is very, very important. Transaction value, paid or payable. This is what supplier and the recipient are unrelated. They should not be related person. They should be unrelated person. They should be unrelated person, not related person. They must, they don't have a blood relationship. Here, you know who are all the relations. You and your family members, your parent, your blood relations, those who are depending on you, they are relatives. And also sole consideration. Without consideration is not value of supply. Already we discussed. Taxable goods, taxable person, consideration. For business or furtherance of business. These are all the 4 conditions are very, very important for value of supply of goods. Along with the transaction value, you have to add taxes, duties, whatever it may be, but except GST. This is very, very important. And amount payable by supplier, advance if anything you receive. Then you have to add all incidental charges. Commission, packing charges, inspection or certificate charges, installation and testing charges, payment charges, loading and designing charges. Loading and designing charges. And also add interest, late fee or penalty for delayed payment. You may paid, should be added. Subsidies provided other than by the central and state government. Suppose you receive subsidy from the associations, private associations, private organizations, you have to add. But when you receive subsidy from the central state government, should be deducted. See in the last one. And also you deduct some discount. staggered discount except attractive festival discount, and agreed term of discount before the time of supply periodic, but it should be in last. Secondary discount is not allowed for quick disposal and all. This is not allowed. Okay, this is what value of supply. So hope you could understand what is value of supply, my dear students. So in this session, what we discussed, I will give a recap for you. One is, as per section 12, time of supply of goods. 13, time of supply of services. 15, value of supply. For time of supply, these are all the points to be considered. So we solved problem and covered rules also. I hope you could understand, dear students. Okay. Next, these are the notes we have to, time of supply or rewards are to discussed. Time of supply of vouchers are discussed. And these are all the problems we solved. Problem 1, 2, 3. Okay. And time of supply in case of voucher exchangeable for goods. And time of services. Time of supply of services. Section 13. And reward charge. Time of supply of for voucher, then value of supply, section 15. So these are the points we discussed. Okay. So every time I made a request. So all of you to watch the video carefully, because we have taken much more risk for preparing this PPTs and videos, okay, for your welfare, for your benefit. So don't fail to watch the videos and see the PPTs, and also verify the web link which we uploaded, because they are very useful to you to gain more and more knowledge. And whenever you have doubts, simply go and watch the video. All doubts will be clear. This is guaranteed. Okay. So now I will conclude. We'll meet in the next session. So thank you very much. Good. But you have to keep in your mind all the sections correctly. When you are able to tell section correctly, now only you tell. Unless otherwise you won't mention the sections. Suppose you mention a section wrongly, the meaning is always different. Okay, so we will differ. So you have to aware about the sections correctly, because some few sections are using under GST. You take the GST rules and write, and make a note of all sections and write the name of the sections and study or keep it in your pocket whenever you travel and you see and read. Automatically they will upload it in your, they will save your mind. Okay. discuss later. These are the ones to discuss later.